Everyone is voting for Jack, 'cause he's got what all the rest lack. Everyone wants to back Jack. Jack is on the right track, 'cause he's got...
In our reception, our overall goal was to really take our guests back in time to the election of 1960. So what we did was we had campaign posters, political ads playing, a newsreel going to really get our guests really excited about what was happening, to really add the energy and excitement of the campaign trail of the election of 1960. We also had our phenomenal actors really represent Kennedy Nixon, so our guests could interact with them, really start talking with them, so they knew what it was like to interact with our future presidents of the United States. We also had an opportunity for our guests to vote in an interactive voting booth where they could cast their ballot to hopefully have Kennedy be the eventual winner.
Jack's the nation's favorite guy. Everyone wants to back Jack.
During our reception, we wanted to incorporate the political aspect as well as the decade aspect. For drinks, we had two different drinks. We had the donkey and the elephant. The donkey was a blue refreshing punch, while the elephant was red, representing both different political parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. For food, we like to serve dips, because dips were really popular in the 1960s, so we wanted to incorporate that history as well. We served hot spinach dip on a French baguette, as well as a crab artichoke dip with wheat thins. And then we also served tomato cups, bringing in the red color of our theme, as well as an American staple, pizza.
Everything went so smooth throughout reception, from the moment the guests started to arrive and receiving their voter registration cards, to the moment they were invited into the dinner party. The food service during reception was amazing, and our Kennedy and Nixon actors and their bodyguards were great, and everyone just loved the voting booths. I really enjoyed hearing what people had to say as they watched the slideshows with the footage from the actual election, especially those who are able to relate with the actual event. I definitely heard some pretty neat stories. What was most rewarding was watching the guests' reaction as they walked into the dining room. All of their faces lit up and they were all at awe.
Well, the dinner was intended to be an elegant celebration of Kennedy's eventual win. We used more elegant colors than you saw in reception, so we used a deeper red, a silver rather than a white, and a royal blue. And we also chose black table linens rather than white to create that more elegant feel. We also used a very unique table setup. We had 3 round banquet tables pushed together to make one big cluster, so it seats 15 people. These clusters represented different states, and our centerpieces were tall vases which sat on large circular mirrors with rose petals and tea lights surrounding.
Only in the good old USA can a kid without a cent get a break and maybe.
The moment guests were invited to the dining room, they were welcomed by a band playing live music from the 60s, which continued to play throughout the whole event. Halfway through the dinner, we had our soloist, Zoe, perform, and she was amazing. Throughout the meal, we had an MC keep our guests updated with the poll results. As guests were finishing their main course, our MC announced that Kennedy won the election. There was a balloon drop, swing dancers came out and performed, and Kennedy gave his speech, which was followed by a champagne toast. We used a gold plate serving style. We sent our 3 service groups out at once, and when serving the food, they simultaneously lowered left, and when clearing plates, they simultaneously cleared from the right. After our management speeches, we invited our guests to help themselves with the self-service coffee and dessert bar. The purpose of the self-service was to allow our guests to interact with one another and finish celebrating the evening.
9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock, we're gonna rock around. 3 o'clock, 2, 9, push, right down. Join me high, we'll have some fun when the clock strikes.
So we started off our dinner menu with the Arnold Palmer, and we wanted to bring that in because it's a very 50s drink, and as this is the early 60s, so we combined lemonade and iced tea, obviously, to create this Arnold Palmer to go along with the meal. And then we started off with the roasted red pepper soup, and so that was kind of a very classic American meal, along with being the beautiful color red. We served the wedge salad, and That was a very classic 1950s wedge salad with tomatoes and cucumbers and blue cheese crumbles. Next we served the blueberry steak, and so we really wanted to bring it up on the steak factor here and not just do a typical steak sauce, so we did the blueberry steak, which also brings in the blue coloring, and we put that on a bed of the roasted red potatoes to once again bring in the red coloring, and some asparagus as well. For the vegetarian option, we served a portobello mushroom with roasted red cherry tomatoes on top and a mozzarella cheese finish. Finally, for dessert, we had blueberry pies in mini ramekin bowls, Oreo balls, which is Oreos and cream cheese in the center with a white chocolate coating. And then finally, we served the strawberries with whipped cream. We thought all of these dessert items brought in the American colors and the classic American dishes.
Our national anthem.
Wait, no, okay, I can do this one.
Alright.
I can't do it now. Smile.
Oh, I got those confused.
You did.
Elephant's blue.
Get your drinks together.
Right.
It's rolling, so whenever you're ready.
It's rolling still?
Aren't you supposed to ask me a question?
What kind of serving style did you use, Andia?
Whoa, you skipped.
I totally did, my bad.
Sorry. Can you like cut some of this out?
Yeah.
How about the vegetarian option?
God, Lizzie.
Have we ever remembered the vegetarian option?
Never.